Hello everyone. Today we have Prathamesh with us and we are meeting after a long time. Reason being I am stuck with lot of works and two or three things will uh, running this particular time at the same time. So that's the only reason I am stuck with lot of work. So today we will be discussing about MLH Fellowship, and today we have Prathamesh with us, and we will be going through the application process, and we prepared a PPT for all of you folks, and let's go with the PPT itself. Just let me know, Prathamesh, my screen visible and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So here is the first slide of our PPT, and we will be going through our application process of MLH Fellowship, and we both work together in this summer batch, and we are working on building a project on near protocol. Yeah, this is little bit about that. So let's go on to our introduction. Prathamesh, you can go.
So thank you, Bhavna, for having me here. So I will go with my introduction. I'm Prathamesh. As you can see, I'm a professional procrastinator. Just kidding. Like I'm a mobile and web developer. I personally work with Next.js and Flutter tech stack. And as Bhavna said, I'm currently part of MLH Fellowship Summer 2023 batch, working with Bhavna on the Web3 track of MLH Fellowship. Also, in the past, I've been an MLH Prep Fellow in the November 2022 batch, and also one Google Code in 2019 in the past. Apart from this, I work as a part-time freelancer, and I will be starting with my final year of engineering this week. So yeah, Bhavna.
Thank you for the introduction, Pratham. So, I am Bhavna and I am currently working as a software developer under Monado organization. Other than that, I am the person behind the She Builds organization and I work under LFX mentorship with the Harbor project. And currently, I am working with Prathamesh under the summer batch this semester on Web3 Incubator track. And I'm also the one of the MLH Top 50 fellow, and previously I'm currently in the training section of GitHub Campus Export Field as well for my university. So yeah, this is a little bit about me. Yeah, Prathamesh, you can go.
So yeah, guys, let's first see what exactly is MLH or Major League Hacking. So Major League Hacking is basically a community of developers and hackers which organizes weekly hackathons for students and young young coders so that they can network and build cool stuff and also win cool prizes and hackathons swag. So to sum it up, MLH is basically an organization for hackers by the hackers. So let's have a look at MLH Fellowship. Yeah,
Yeah,
Bhavna, you can
MLH Fellowship is a remote internship opportunity for students, and currently they opened this particular application for working professionals as well. It's a 12-week internship program where you got a chance to work with well-reputed companies like Google, GitLab, Meta, and AWS and all. So and being a student, you can earn some stipend as well by working on this particular project, as well as the learning you get is quite amazing. So yeah, this is little bit about the about MLH Fellowship. We will be covering this in more detail in upcoming slides.
So yeah, let's discuss the eligibility criteria for MLH fellowship. So basically, you just need to be. There are very few criteria. The foremost is you must be above the age of 18 or above the age of consent in your respective country, or with your parents' permission, you can participate in the program if you are of age 13, and you must be at least proficient in one programming language. This may be any programming language of your choice, and languages like JavaScript, Python, and TypeScript are the most popular one. Also, you must have a good, since it is a remote program, you must have a really good internet connection, and you must not be a resident of a country embargoed by the United States, like Afghanistan or any other country. Also, since you will be working with global peers, you must have a good command over English and must dedicate at least 30 hours per week for the program. So yeah,
Yeah, this
Bhavna.
is basically little bit about the eligibility criteria. If the eligibility criteria matches, you must apply for this particular fellowship, and we will be covering that how you can apply and what questions and what other things are in upcoming slide. So, like before going into MLH Fellowship, there is a short program that is called MLH Prep Fellowship. So it's basically the miniature version of MLH Fellowship, where you got a chance to work with MLH peoples for just 3 weeks, so that you got a chance to work on building your portfolios and work on latest technologies. Like me and Pratham both are MLH Prep Fellow, and we meet there. And currently, we are both are working together on different projects. So this is something like you got a chance to network with some amazing people, work with them, and yeah, this is little bit about MLH Fellowship. So if I want to summarize this particular thing, so it's basically the miniature version of MLH Fellowship. You got a chance to build and gain experience, meet some amazing people, and for this particular one you need to give 30 plus hours per week, and you will be able to collaborate with people, interact with amazing peoples. And yeah, one more foremost thing is there is no stipend for MLH Prep Fellowship, and except stipend you got a chance to lot of things other than stipend. And your application, one reason that most of the people apply for prep fellowship got into MLH fellowship is, if you are a prep fellow, your application got prioritized instead of non-prep fellow, and you have around 33% more chance to get into fellowship than the normal fellow. So this is little bit about MLH prep fellowship.
So yeah, MLS Fellowship basically has three tracks. That starts with the first and the most famous track, which is the software engineering track. So this is kind of a general track where companies like Google, GitLab, Meta, and GitHub, companies like big MNCs like that, come up with their own project where you can actually contribute to an production ready code, a code which is running somewhere on the production. So this track has a lot of open source software also like it to get to work on. The next track is actually the site reliability engineering track, which will be explained by Bhavna.
Yeah, so this track is basically for the people who are more into DevOps ecosystem. And as you know, like DevOps ecosystem is currently booming in this particular field. And for this particular thing, you got a chance to work on application, which is basically the combination of software as well as system. So if you are someone interested in DevOps ecosystem, want to explore this particular things, and you are interested in debugging codes and solving hard problems, so yeah, this is particular. This track is for you, and you can apply for this particular track. And with the companies mainly whose project is in this particular track is Google. Google provide lot of site reliability track, and in the last fall batch, I have a friend who worked with Google under the site reliability engineering rank, and his experience is literally awesome. Yeah, this is little bit about site reliability test.
So yeah, let's discuss the final track, which is the Web3 track. So as you guys know, Web3 and decentralization is one of the hottest field in the tech currently. So MLH has taken care for the Web3 enthusiast. And in this track, basically you get to work with the Web3 companies like Solana and the Near protocol, where you can use your Web3 and blockchain skills to work on the actual blockchains, like I mentioned, Solana and everything. We are currently actually working on this track with the Neo protocol. And one thing to add is like you don't need to apply just for one particular track. You can apply for all the three tracks in the same application, and the MLH team will match you, whichever is most appropriate according to your skills.
Yeah, this is something most of the people have this particular question. So let's discuss about upcoming batches in which you can apply. And fellowship batches is basically done in three. three terms or three cohorts is basically spring, which runs from Jan to March, and second was the summers, which runs from June to August. And currently, we are a part of this particular track. And third is fall, which runs from September to December. And the upcoming terms and deadlines for this particular track is the, as you know, like September, the fall term is gotten started from September to December. So MLS team suggests to apply in this particular track at least 3 months before. We will explain this particular thing why you need to apply 3 months before to get shortlisted in this particular application. So the application deadline for Asia and APAC region folk is 31st August, and for other region it will be around 31st August. If you want to apply in this particular field, you just need to go into this particular URL, that is http dot fellowship.mlh.io, and you can start applying into this particular program.
So yeah, guys, let's discuss the application process. So the application is basically split into three stages. The first one is the application form, which you can fill on the MLH website. It's quite a long form. You need to dedicate 2 to 3 hours to fill it. You can go to the MLH website and check the form out. And then if your form is correct, like your project and everything is good, then MLH will contact you for an initial interview where they will check your internet and just a basic interview. And then once you clear that, you get to give a final technical interview. And based on that, you're matched to some project or a company. Let's discuss this process in details.
In upcoming slides, so here is basically the application form. So here are the main factors in which your application got shortlisted for initial interviews is basically code sample, profile, and essay questions. So we will take it one by one. So let me just take the code sample one. So here in this particular code sample, what you need to take. So let me show you some examples of that. Let me know is my screen visible or not. Mm, so in the particular code sample, what you need to take off is representation. Basically, read me through all the things. Like you must have must read me where if you go through it and you will be able to understand what this particular code did, and the particular use case and other things, and make a project that solves a particular purpose. Do not copy paste a tutorial based thing, and focus on GitHub. Make sure it's public on GitHub as well. uh, it's prioritize your application if you have multiple files. Make sure you do not have single code base, just the C++ code. It doesn't add credibility in your application that you are a good developer, because you are struggling and participating and compete with around 10k people, because in last fall batch there is around 10k application for this particular fellowship. So you can think of like around 60 to 70 folks got shortlisted. So the percentage rate of being selecting is less than 2.5%. So yeah, for being selecting, you'll have a good code base. Like not that much large, but make sure it solves a real world problem. You can build any project in hackathon. MLH organize different hackathons in every week in Saturday, Sunday. So what you can do, you can participate in hackathon, build a solid project with a deadline, and you can submit that particular project and this particular application process. So let me show you some code sample that you can refer. These are our application run process. Let me share my screen again. So hope so my screen is visible. So here is the project that I have submitted for MLH prep as well as Web3 track. So here you can go through my commit history, and you can see the readme is well organized. You can also download the apk and set up the project in your local system. Here you can see I also added the screenshot of the project, so that if someone do not have access to android studio, he or she will be able to know the project just by going through their readme. And I edit the package structure as well, so that if someone interested in contributing this particular project, he or she will be able to understand the code structure what I have followed. And if you go through my commit history, here you can see like here is not something that is like just readme updates and other things. If you go into particular feature, I added particular features using different commit histories. Like here I added drag and drop feature, so I added the commit history for that. So this is something that you need to take care every time. And here is one of my friend project who is also working with us. So here you can see he also organized all the things in a separate manner. And if you go through his commit history, which is also something like not just read me updates and other things. So I would suggest whenever you update or edit some features, just upload it on GitHub, so that if someone just seeing your project, and he or she can see like you build this particular project, just not copy paste and clone someone else's project and put it on your github in just one comment. So hope so this solves your doubt. So you can take pratham essay and profile section.
So yeah, so while submitting the MLH application form, you get to the MLH team actually gives you an option to submit either of your GitHub profile, your resume, your portfolio website, or your LinkedIn. Just one of them is compulsory, but you must make sure to submit as many of them as possible to just give them the assurance of having a very good profile. So be active on GitHub, regularly post your project updates and everything on social media like LinkedIn and Twitter, and always have an updated and well maintained resume to maximize your chances of getting through the application process. So one of the most important part of the application is the essays. The essays are similar to what the essays you write while applying for universities in fourth grade. So there are quite a few questions, and you must dedicate most of your time to these essay questions. We will discuss all of them in detail in next few slides.
Yeah, so let me take this particular question. So here, when you start submitting your application, MLH asks you around three questions regarding why do you want to become an MLH fellow, why you feel you are the best fit for this particular program. So you just need to answer these particular questions, not just by copy pasting someone else's answers. So we are just taking it one by one. So I'm just taking why you do you want to become an MLH fellow. So here you just need to show your like why you personally want to become an MLH fellow. Here is a particular example that I have added. So MLH is a community of amazing developer, and being the part of this particular fellowship, I got to learn a lot of things from different developers from all over the world and all. So you just need to specify and answer these particular question that I have highlighted, and make sure this is your first impression into your application, because your application process get reviewed around 2 to 3 times by different MLHers. So make sure you put your efforts while filling out the application process. So like why this particular fellowship, because like there are a lot of different open source programs like Google Summer of Code, Google Summer of Docs, and other. And how will working on real world product projects will help you in your career and avoid grammatical errors and spelling mistake, which basically does not. You can use any Grammarly tool and ChatGPT itself, and make sure you review your essays by your friend or your family or your previous alumni. Like you can review your answers by me and Pratham and anyone which basically did MLH Fellowship. So the reason behind same, we will cover this particular thing in upcoming slide. So also be truthful. Do not share any false information, because if you on board to initial interview, you will be asked these particular questions again. So it really add bad impression if you make any false truths and other things. So yeah, Pratham, we can take this particular question.
So yeah, the next question is what perspective or experience you will bring to the fellowship to strengthen the community. So basically, MLS Fellowship is a team program. It basically is a community. So it's just not about you, but other people as well. So in this question, you need to add your skills and mention how it will help others. Like you may mention any particular skills in which you're strong at. Like I'm very strong with Next.js and everything. So I can write like how can I help others learn what I'm good at? I can tell them like or maybe you can mention any leadership experience you have had in the past, like leading a team or a project, just anything which others may find helpful in this question. So yeah, and also don't copy paste this question because it's more about you, so it's easier to get caught copying this question. So yeah, next question, Bhavna.
Yeah, like we already mentioned, like around 10K application got submitted for each cohort. So it would be easily tracked if you just copy paste the answers. So let's take last question. So anything else would you like to add? So it's a optional question, but I would suggest to fill it out because it adds credibility, like how impressive as well as how passionate you are towards tech as well as MLH fellowship, because most of the people didn't fill this particular question. If you feel it, you have higher chances than others. So you, in this particular question, you can share your tech journey, like how you get into tech and your skills, achievements and other things. Anything else, Pratham, would you like to add in this particular thing?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I would actually the all the essays have a word limit. Like the first two or three essays, I guess, are only 150 to 200 words long. So it's not always possible to mention each and everything. And this particular question has a very higher word limit. So you can write anything you were not able to write in the previous question in this question. Like maybe your experience as working on some other hackathon projects, maybe you can mention any leadership skills or about your experience in college clubs, like anything, or maybe just mention some other projects you are proud of and things like this. So, and also any volunteering work also shows that you're dedicated for the community. So any volunteering, leadership, or any soft skill is is good for this question.
Yeah, like if you get selected in this particular round, you will be onboarded to initial interview, and it's a basically the short interview where you need to check this particular things. Like you, once the interviewer got in, he or she will be ask you some certain question, like if you are eligible for this particular program, like 18 plus, and you have good connection and video quality, audio quality, because it's a remote internship program, and how passionate you are about the program, and are you able to communicate well, since it's a global program. So the prior language for communication is English. So the key for this particular interview is be confident. Do not hesitate. Might be it's your first interview. What you can do, you can do a mock interview with any previous MLH fellow, with your friends. Yeah, this is little bit about. And the question that the interviewer asked me during my interview is, why do you want to become an MLH fellow? So it's a good thing if you keep record all the questions that you have submitted in the application round. It will help you in this particular round itself. what you can do, you can create a doc and copy paste all the answers on that particular doc, and during initial interview you can go through these particular answers and answer this particular question with accurately in your interview. And another question that asked by my interviewer is what project you submitted into the application. Can you little bit elaborate this particular thing? So I would be able to do that. Prathamesh, would you like to add anything in here?
So yeah, this so just before this interview, like just make sure you have a good quality internet connection and your audio and video is working very clearly. This is very important since this program is completely remote. So just maybe you can have a quick recap to meet with your friend to test your connection on all and let them check your internet connection. So yeah, we can discuss the next slide.
Yeah, Pratham, you can go take this particular thing.
So yeah, let's talk about the most important part of this interview, your technical interview. This will be the interview in which you will be based on your technical skills and how well you fit into this MLH fellowship community. So this interview is slightly longer than the initial interview, in which you will be asked to share your screen and demo your project basically. The interviewer the interviewer may ask you to just randomly open any file which is critical to your project or very important to your project, and they might ask you to explain how the code works, what the code does on a particular file, and the significance of a particular code. So just make sure to thoroughly read and understand your code before the interview. Make sure you know each and every line of your code, of what you have wrote. So yeah, just revise your code and you shall be good to go. Anything else, Pavna, you would like to add? Any additional
Yeah,
tips?
just sharing my experience. Like during my technical interview, what I did, I just created a short PPT of around 2 to 3 slides where I just go through the important part, like what my project is doing, and what is it about, and different tech stack that I have used. So it's a good experience, like if you can do this particular thing as well, because it's at credibility, like how passionate you are towards the program and other things. So it's a good example. Like one of my previous fellow friend suggested me this particular thing, and I am suggesting this particular thing to you folks.
Yeah.
So
Also, Pavna, I would like to add one important thing to that. Like, if you have done something in your code, you should be able to justify it. Like, if you have used a particular tech stack, let's say you have used Django or Flask, so the interviewer might ask you why you have chosen a particular tech stack or another. So be ready with the answer, be ready with the justification, and be confident about it. The interviewer might ask you some technical questions related to your tech stack. So be prepared in advance. And also the interviewer, in my case, the interviewer asked me a couple of times if I was to build a project again today, would I use the same tech stack or would I use something new, or how would I approach the project differently this time, or yeah, or any bugs I'm aware of. So yeah, just study your project and tech stack well. So yeah, Bhavna, you can continue.
also I want to add, like one of the question that Prathamesh put up is why you use this particular text stack. Do not give this particular answer like I am familiar with this particular thing, that's why I use this particular thing. It really adds bad impact in your application. You can say in different way, like I have been working in this particular text stack since a long time, and I'm being comfortable with it, but I'm looking to explore more different backend services. Like you can use, like I'm exploring except Flask and backend I'm using. Okay, like we can take this particular question and as well. So like if you pass the technical interview, you will be on board to final review, where your application got matched to the recent project that the MLH have. And after that you will got an email like that, congratulations, you got into MLH fellowship. So really awesome day. Like the last month when I got the email, it's my birthday, so it's a really great experience and it's made my day itself. Anything else, Pratham, would you like to add?
Not much. I would just like to say it's a very great movement when you finally get selected after months of waiting. The process is actually 2 to 3 months long. So when you get selected, you are like on cloud nine. Just just make sure to share it on your social media, LinkedIn, and just everywhere you can, and just celebrate.
Yeah, exactly. When we got an email like that, we both are so much happy.
Yeah.
I still remember the date as well as time.
So it will surely give boost to your social media profile. Like yeah, the LinkedIn view graph just go like this.
Like how you got a connection request and everything.
Yeah. Okay, let's just see the benefits of MLH fellowship. So the best thing I got out of the MLH fellowship was networking. So through MLH prep, I actually got to meet many talented folks. Like one being Bhavna. After we met in the MLH prep program, like we participated in many hackathons. Like each month we participated in hackathons, and we almost won all of them. Then we worked together for another hackathon, and then we got in the MLH fellowship together. Like the networking is literally the best part about MLH fellowship. It's just life changing. So another benefit of MLH fellowship is obviously you get to improve on your technical skills. Like we are currently working on a Web3 project, which has really pushed our technical capabilities hard. Like we got to learn authentication with Web3 and how to integrate Web3 with the front end properly and everything. Also, the since the MLH community is so large and the technical bar to get into community is so high, almost everyone here is very much talented. So, if you have any doubt or something, or you need some mentorship regarding anything in the technical world, there is at least someone who has a good knowledge of it. You need some help on some particular tech stack, you need to get to some university in the US. Like there's always someone to guide, maybe your other pod mates, your batchmates, or maybe your pod leader. Also, since MLH fellowship is highly prestigious, it has the acceptance rate of 2.5%. And for comparison, Google Summer of Code has an acceptance rate of about 20%. So it's 10 times harder to get into MLH fellowship. So it just gives a huge boost to your resume. Like some when the recruiters read MLH on a resume, it instantly you get that validation like this person is good. Also, one more thing, like if the your project or the company you have matched with likes your work or they find you helpful for the company, they might just extend you an full time or an internship offer. So that's a very good advantage. And lastly, the stipend for fellowship is amazing. Like in the US, you get stipend of $5,000 or $6,000, and for India, I think it's $3,600. It's much more than most of what most companies pay interns. So yeah, anything else, Bhavna?
No, like you covered everything else. So yeah, you can share your experience.
So yeah, like I just said, the best thing about my MLH journey was meeting new people, meeting talented folks like Bhavna, Mugiz, and everyone. Also, like MLH is not just about technical skills. You in the MLH prep, like we had to give an technical session on any of our choice, any technical topic. So I remember I gave an talk on blockchain. So it just push your comfort zone. You get to meet and speak with a lot of people from other countries, other nationalities. That just increases your confidence and everything. So yeah, that's the meeting new people and this confidence boost is my best experience about MLH fellowship, apart from all the technical knowledge. And Bhavna,
Yeah,
your experience.
Yeah, like same for me. Like I got to learn a lot of things from all over the world, folks. Like I meet different people from Norway, US. Like Prathamesh pod is more insight towards Indians, but
Yeah,
my pod is all about the folks from all over the world. Like I meet different people from Egypt, Norway, US, and all, so it's a quite good experience. And other than that, you got some stipend, as well as like we are currently working on Web3 incubator track, where we got a chance to visit Lisbon in November, which is quite fully funded by NEA team.
yeah,
It's not decided like we are going or not, but most probably we are going. Yeah, Prathamesh.
yeah. That will be actually very great experience. Like going to Portugal from India, like for a session on your own. It's like one of the most amazing things.
Yeah, being a student, you are going outside India. It's something your parents as well as you proud of.
Yeah, yeah. It's really proud thing.
Yeah, guys, thanks for listening. And for the Q&A itself, if you have any questions and anything, you can ask in the chat as well as in the comment section. I will try to answer all this question, and Prathamesh is also here, and he
Yeah.
will also try to answer all the questions. And if you want to review your answers and anything, just add your answers in one of the doc and share with me and Prathamesh. We will try to review all the answers. Yeah, this is our experience in MLH Fellowship, how we got into application process, how you can apply, and what the things that can ex, mm, like upgrade your application process and get more chances to being selected in this particular process. Anything else, Pratham, would you like to add?
Yeah, like you pretty much summed up everything. Just reach out to us on socials, maybe Twitter, LinkedIn. We will always be happy to review your project as well as your application essays.
Yeah, like I will add all the socials of Prathamesh in the link, it's in the chat itself as well as comment. So what you folks can do if you want to reach out, what is the best option to reach out to you, Prathamesh? If you want to add that as well.
Okay, the best and fastest option to reach out to me is Twitter. I am mostly active on Twitter. And if not on Twitter, you can contact me on LinkedIn. I use it less frequently, but I might answer in a day or two.
Yeah, same works for me. Like I have lot of requests as well as queries on LinkedIn. So what you folks can do, you can reach out to me on Twitter or by email, bhavna@shebuilds.tech. I will add all this particular thing on the particular section so that you can answer as well as take guidance from it. So hope this particular session got insightful for you folks and you got to learn a lot of things from our experience. Yeah, thanks for watching if you are being here till that particular time and looking to meet you in person in any event and you feel this particular podcast is helpful to you. So you can hit the like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So thank you. Have a good day.
Happy hacking.